Yeah, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, they have the eye of the tiger. Fly, Eagles, fly to the offseason. 1-2-3 Cancun. The 49ers, in dramatic fashion and come from behind fashion, go to Philly, lose their all-pro tight end, George Kittle, and still take down the Philadelphia Eagles and stay alive. That's the mantra of this season, just stay alive. This is 49ers Postgame Live, brought to you by Toyota. Matt Mayoko, Rod Brooks, Carlos Ramirez. I mean, this might have been the biggest, greatest, most impressive coaching work by Shanahan, Saleh, Boyer, and company in the postseason, Matt, considering what we just saw.
Oh, well, and how about those guys coming out of nowhere? The Garrett Wallow, Eric Kendricks, Marquise Siegel. Losing George Kittle was an absolute gut punch, but you saw him as he's being carted out of the stadium or out off the field. He's exhorting his teammates. He's cheering them on. He has a torn Achilles. And the 49ers reserves and unsung heroes once again.
And let me go to the offensive side of the ball, because there were a lot of, I can't believe this guy made this play on defense. How about the catches Kyle Juszczyk made late in this game? It's the Demarcus Robinson game until further notice. Yeah. He set the tone at the beginning and kept it going through the entire game. What we saw today from the San Francisco 49ers is what we've seen all season long. Guys get hurt. They find a way to really fulfill the next man up mantra. And the Niners defense, it was pure bend but don't break today. But that fourth down stop to ice the game for the Eagles, we're going to be talking about that one for ice the game for the Niners against the Eagles, obviously. We're going to be talking about that for a long, long time.
Matt, Brock Purdy did not have a good game, yet the standard with which every great quarterback is measured, or at least one of them, is when the game's on the line and the ball's in your hands, can you architect, can you draw, can you concoct a winning drive? And Brock did it today. Yeah,
2 interceptions, both in the second half, not good. But game-winning fourth quarter touchdown to lead this team, a game-winning drive. Again, another postseason game-winning drive for him. So all the things that weren't perfect in this game, as far as Brock Purdy is concerned, go out the window. This was just an amazing playoff road victory. First time 49ers have ever beaten a defending Super Bowl champ in the postseason on the road.
Were you more impressed by what the offense showed both in the beginning and the end of the game, the bookend drives of this game, Rod, or the just sheer will and proficiency of the defense, even though the play calling was awful by the Eagles? The defense did their job. They held them to 19.
Well, why not both? And I'm going to start here with the offense. For the Niners offensively, to keep running the ball, even though they did not have the success they wanted to in the first half, for them not to abandon it, maybe because they didn't have to, but for them not to abandon it, I give them a ton of credit. Because like I talked about in the pregame, that's a good Eagles defense, but you could see that they were susceptible to the run. But you got to keep at it. You got to keep chipping at it. So I give the Niners credit for continuing that in the second half. As far as the defense is concerned, again, it's what we talked about in the pregame. You could not objectively look at Philadelphia since they're bye in Week 9 and look at them offensively and go, they're okay. They're a team that when they abandon the run or when it stops, they have nowhere else to go. They try to throw it on the pass game, and they're just not equipped to do that. And I think with the Niners playing the way they did and also calling timely blitzes and maybe not getting there in the sack, but getting there to move Jalen Hurts off of his spot, absolutely paid dividends.
So now the NFC is set. The number 1 seeded Seahawks will host the number 6 seeded 49ers next week. And now the Rams travel to Chicago to face the Bears. We go out to Philadelphia to the link, and we link up with the 49ers reporter, Jennifer Lee Chan. Jennifer, this is pretty simple. First question, how unlikely is what we just saw for the 49ers?
This is the most unlikely playoff team I think I've ever seen, and it's definitely the most unlikely playoff team in Kyle Shanahan's tenure as 49ers head coach. I mean, they have lost Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, now George Kittle. They've been without Brock Purdy. They've been without Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, it's just incredible that this team is actually advancing to the next stage.
Jennifer, what do you know about George Kittle and the reaction? Because we saw the team get deflated, but then somehow just find the rhythm and come back and win the game. What do you know about George?
I mean, that's the story of this season. It has been huge all-star players going down and then finding a way to win. but against all odds. I mean, it sounds like George Kittle it's confirmed that he has torn his Achilles. He'll be out, and it will definitely affect his 2026 season. But this team rallies on. They head up to Seattle now, a very well-known foe. Right behind me, the few Niners fans that are here in the stadium are doing a Let's Go Niners chant. It is unbelievable, this team, and just the spirit. And Brock Purdy, not a great game, like you guys said. 2 interceptions, but the defense, it's a skeleton defense, and you've got guys like Eric Kendricks and Garrett Wallow stepping up, stopping this Eagles offense that is filled with all pros. Just an impressive performance by this team overall.
Yeah, you talk about the defense, though. What stood out to you from what Kendricks did in that unit to stop and keep the Eagles just at 19 points tonight?
I think it was staying disciplined. Kendricks knows he's a veteran, and same with Garrett Wallow. I think the part about their play is that they're smart. The intelligence, knowing where to go, making sure everybody's on the right call, I think that says a lot. Tatum Bethune did a really, really good job, but Eric Kendricks has more experience, and so that veteran experience really showed up on the field today. Garrett Wallow, also not a lot of play this season, but he also has a ton of experience, so that kind of won out. This 49ers defensive line that doesn't get a whole lot of pressure did what they had to do to make sure that the Eagles were stopped.
All right, Jennifer Lee Chen live from the Link. Jen, thank you so much. We'll see you next week from Seattle. That's where the 49ers head to next. The overreactions are brought to you by Toyota. Look at this bracket. Matt, I'll go to you first. The overreaction. The 49ers have them right where they want them.
That is not an overreaction at all. And you know what? There's a part of me that really feels like this is the game the 49ers wanted.
Yep.
And this is also the game that maybe the Seahawks didn't want.
Yep.
Because we just look back, what's it been now? 8 days.
Yep.
Seattle dominated that game. Seattle played so well. The 49ers did not play well. And yet the 49ers only lost 13-3, and they could have easily have made a move there in the fourth quarter. So the 49ers don't even need to board their plane to go home. They're going to be flying home without a charter.
I know this reference is dated, so please forgive me. And if you don't get it, ask your parents or your grandparents. But do you guys remember the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Yes.
As they were being chased to Bolivia or whatever.
Yep.
They were just like, kept looking behind. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
That's exactly what the Seattle Seahawks are doing. Who are these guys? How do they keep getting up off the mat? How do they keep doing it? They do it with the next man up mentality. They do it with bend but don't break. They even do it with trick plays. We haven't even talked about that.
You know
bad
what?
boy yet.
I'll give you a more modern, updated 21st century reference. This 49er team is filled with John Wicks. They're just John Wicks. They get hurt, they get cut, they bleed. You know what? They keep coming. Someone killed their dog. Whoever did made a big mistake. You don't mess with a man's dog or his car. These are a bunch of John Wicks, and they just won't stop coming no matter what happens.
And you have a bunch of guys who have that mentality, and the Niners are clearly a superiorly coached team, especially compared to what we saw in Philadelphia. I want to take you to one point. Maybe it made a big deal, maybe it didn't. A.J. Brown dropped, the first of his 3 passes, and Nick Sirianni ran up to him as he was coming off of the field. They had a little interaction, a little testosterone presentation, and that's it. Listen, we know it's coaching. It was no harm, no foul. And we know that Kyle Shanahan could get fiery. But could you imagine Kyle Shanahan in a situation where your interaction with your receivers not all that great anyway, running up to a guy as he's coming off a field? He feels bad enough about the situation as it is, and you're yelling at him about this, that, and the third.
Before we compare the quarterbacks, Matt, look at the scoreboard. 23-19.
Yep.
When the Eagles scored that first touchdown, they missed the extra point. That extra missed point made the team have to go down the field in the last drive and have to go for a touchdown. If they make that extra point, they could have settled for a field goal, and we might be playing that game still in overtime, man. So every detail counts.
Yeah.
And how big do you think it was, that trick play that Shanahan concocted to start the fourth quarter to bring them back to life?
Yeah, what a way to start the fourth quarter.
Right.
Huh? I mean, the 49ers had the win going with them to begin the fourth quarter, and it just brought back memories of Super Bowl 58 when Juwan Jennings, the high school quarterback from Blackman High in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, recruited to University of Tennessee as a quarterback. The last time we saw him throw a pass was in that Super Bowl touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. This one was a well-designed side. It kind of, I don't know, it looked a little bit chunky there for a while, but
shout out Sky Moore.
Yes, Sky Moore. But then when he made that pass, it took a very good effort on Christian McCaffrey's part to make that over-the-shoulder catch.
You know what that was? I'm going to call it the Philly special.
Yeah. Hey, can we add one more piece to that?
Yes, we can.
Jawan Jennings standing in there and making the throw under duress and eventually getting that personal foul.
All right, let's go to the QB comp in this show. 49ers Postgame Live, brought to you by Toyota. The QB comp. Listen, Brock Purdy didn't have a good game. We're not going to lie to anyone. 58% completion percentage, 2 picks. However, again, when the game is on the line, when you have to have it, Rod, number 13 came through.
That's exactly where I'm going. Those stats might not be great, but Brock Purdy in the second half was significantly better than Jalen Hurts in the second half. And while you look at the numbers, obviously the interceptions, that's the big number. You look at the attempts and completions and the yards, you're not wowed about it. Brock Purdy, without Ricky Pearsall, without George Kittle, still averaged, what was it? A little bit over 8 yards per attempt. He's still slinging that thing downfield. And let's give the Niners offensive line credit.
Absolutely.
They did, just like the defensive line, the Niners offensive line did a heck of a job doing enough to protect Brock Purdy so he could survey what few targets he had down the field. And listen, don't ever, I know you're not, but don't ever underestimate the value of Trent Williams. You don't win this game, just like you didn't last week, you don't win this game if Trent Williams isn't there.
Yeah, the offensive line. Let's just go back to
tremendous.
They got stronger as the game went on.
Yes.
They protected Brock Purdy in a very difficult environment with their pass rush, with the crowd noise they were dealing with. You saw Jake Brendel getting out late in the game. I just felt like the offensive line wore down the Philly defensive line rotation of 8 guys. So hats off to the O-line.
And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact how many 3-and-outs did we see the Eagles have in the second half. That defense for Philly had to keep getting back on the field.
And the three of us talked about this over the week on 49ers Now, which we will have another one on Monday.
And on Friday.
And on Friday, too. Yeah, we had 2 more.
At least.
The flags, the penalties were going to be a big part of it. The 49ers were the second least penalized team in football. The Eagles were 22nd. Those flags at times kept the 49ers rolling when they made those penalties on defense. Check this out. Internet is going wild. The social media reactions on this 49ers win are just phenomenal. Look at this. Where are you going? Where are you going, buddy? Yeah. No, you're not. See, you know what? Down. Fly, eagle, fly. Nope. The eagle has landed. Not the eagle like Robbie Williams. The eagle has landed. When we come back.
Coach of the year right there. Yeah. Even if he doesn't get the award.
We'll hear about him on the other side. Seattle, here we come.